What's happening? Brian Tong here, and welcome back to the Apple Byte, returning to your normally scheduled programming after a couple weeks of break and the madness that is CES. Plus, I'll finally announce the winners of our Favorite Things giveaway. All right, lots of news this week, and the buzz is all around the Apple Watch. Now, Apple recently released the 4th beta of the upcoming iOS 8.2 update, and previous builds have included WatchKit support for testing out apps. In the Bluetooth section now, the latest update adds an Apple Watch connection link and also revealed there will be a standalone Apple Watch app. Now, 9to5Mac has shown off some of the features of this companion app, including an over-the-top virtual view of the Apple Watch home screen so you can see how your apps are organized. A new watch face called Monogram will allow you to include 1 to 4 letters, typically your initials, directly on the watch face to personalize it. Now, I'd go with B, T, and Z, since my friends call me BTZ, but I probably didn't need to tell you that. All right, a subtle red dot will appear on the top area of the Apple Watch's clock face for new notifications. And since there's no keyboard, you can respond either using Apple's dictation, which is worlds better now, or record an actual audio message. The companion app will also let you activate fitness features like reminders if you've been sitting on your butt too long, your activity progress, or completion of activity goals. And the Apple Watch app will show you storage capacity, number of songs on the device, photos, and apps, confirming that it will indeed have actual usable storage space. The Apple Watch was rumored to be shipping in spring of 2015, but the latest reports point to retail associates starting training on the wearable in mid-February, with the actual Apple Watch targeted to ship by the end of March. All right, now, one of the cool new pieces of tech from Apple's watch is Force Touch, the Big A's pressure-sensitive touch technology that can distinguish between a light tap and a deep press. Now, a new rumor report coming out of Taiwan claims Apple's considering using the Force Touch tech in its next iPhone. That's realistically about 9 months out. Can you believe it? 9 months. And they're also considering moving to a dual lens design that would allow for optical zoom capabilities in the iPhone for the first time. Now, I like the idea of both of these features, but I wouldn't expect them to throw these into the mix with such a short lead time. This sounds more like iPhone 7 stuff instead of 6S, but I'm just hoping that I too can draw hearts that someone can feel from my iPhone sooner rather than later. I love you. All right, in Mac news, there are still many of you waiting for a new MacBook Air with a Retina display. According to Digitimes, Apple supplier Quanta Computer has begun ramping up production for the upcoming Air ahead of its release that's targeting the first quarter of this year. The new 12-inch Air is expected to feature Intel's Broadwell Core M processor with its fanless design, making it thinner. Reports have also claimed it will get rid of almost all the ports found on current MacBook Airs and contain a headphone jack, a pair of microphones, and a USB Type-C port to handle charging and connectivity. All right, shifting things to the smart home. It was a huge theme at CES 2015, and we showed you iDevices Switch, the first HomeKit compatible smart plug. We talked about how it worked through its own app or with Siri with voice commands. Now, that all works fine and dandy if you're at home on your Wi-Fi, but if you're at work or heading out of town, The Verge reports that you'll need to have a 3rd generation Apple TV or later to remotely control them. Now, that will serve as the hub for these smart devices when you're away. So quietly, the Apple TV is becoming a more important part of Apple's plan for the home. And in more cool Apple TV news, a recently granted Apple patent hints at an in-air 3D gesturing user interface for the Apple TV, Mac, and future products. Apple acquired 3D sensor company PrimeSense back in November of 2013 that also worked with Microsoft's Kinect, and the patent grants a 3D UI for use with PrimeSense's motion sensing hardware that is now all under Apple. Now look, the Apple Byte was way ahead of the curve on this one and imagined what this could be like a few years ago.
Whoa, how'd you do that?
It's called Bright TV.
Cool, man. Wait.
Yeah, I got you. Pause. Check this out.
Bright TV's the best.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, coming soon to a living room near you. And in our do not try this at home story, a Chinese man, yes, my people, decided to come up with his own Apple wearable and tried to smuggle 94 iPhones from Hong Kong, where they are cheaper, into mainland China by wearing them inside his clothes attached to his body. Now, the Huffington Post reports the man was pulled aside by custom officials as a result of his weird walking posture, joint stiffness, and muscle tension. Now, the iPhone 6 Pluses were selling for over $3,000 on the black market before they were officially available. And for you, sir, I'm giving you an A for effort. No bad apple, none at all. Except, dude, you got caught. All right, let's announce the winners for my favorite things giveaway. I asked you guys and gals to send me a picture or video of you taking a bite of the apple, and there were too many entries to pick from. But congrats go to all 14 of you. Pictures from Alfonso Valentin, Desmond Davis, Eric Grimm, Freddie Martinez, George on Twitter, Nicholas McCoy, Powertron and his threesome, Trev Smith, and Yuva Muragan. And sorry, James Conner, you're not going to win with this fake pick, James. All right, videos like A Vine from King Leong and singing by Arcady. Plus, Andres Lin fan climbed down a rope chameleon style to bite that apple. Faith Ankimbo even gave me a bad apple. Now, you are not allowed to do that, but I will let it slide this time. And Paul Sherba with the sweetest sounding apple bite that you could check out at the end of the show. So congrats to all of you. I'm just gonna throw all your names into a hat and pick who wins the Threes game codes, Mophie cases, Airframe Pluses, Bose QC25s, and Slingbox randomly, and I'll be in touch to get you your goods. All right, that's gonna do it for this week's show. Keep emailing me at theapplebite@cnet.com or tweet me at Brian Tong, and I'll answer when I'm not sleeping. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time for another bite of the apple.